You keep telling us that's a white shirt too, and from where I'm sitting, it looks like not white. No, it's a little more like a cream.
That's just poor laundry
Yeah,
practices.
I know. Look at how nice and Tyson. What color is your shirt?
My
Same
shirt
thing.
is white and it has blue and black cross pattern
Yeah,
stripes.
see, so
Okay,
his
we're
shirt is
live.
white.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I
Is
call
that
to
is
order
that sh-
public hearing for bylaw 6270, land use amendment re 2425 30th Street West. The procedure for this hearing will be, we will begin by calling upon Tyson Boylan, Senior Community Planner, to provide the background to the case. Those else who wish to speak on this bylaw will then be called upon. We will then ask 3 times if there is anybody else who wishes to make a presentation. City Council will then have the opportunity to ask questions of any of the presenters. The hearing will then be closed. Consideration of second and third reading will be made by City Council immediately following the public hearing. I now call upon Mr. Tyson Boylan to provide the background to the case. Mr. Boylan?
Thank you, Your Worship and members of council. This is bylaw 6270. It's a proposed land use bylaw amendment to an undeveloped site containing an existing gas well that's in Copperwood 2. Next slide, please. There we go. My presentation will follow the format that is shown above, ending with our department's recommendation to City Council. Next slide, please. So the applicant for this one is Stantec on behalf of the developer of Copperwood, which is Daytona Homes, and a representative from Daytona is here and can answer questions. The applicant wishes to rezone an undeveloped area of Copperwood from RCL to the FUD district. This area contains an existing speed gas well that was drilled in 1997. We'll get more into this in a few slides, but the proposed FUD district will restrict subdivision and development within 100 meters of this existing gas well, which is in line with provincial regulations. Next slide, please. So the amendment area is in the far west of the city, which is shown as a red star above on this map here. Next slide, please. And as you can see in this more detailed map shown in green, this more detailed map, the site here is shown in green and is located in the far southwest corner of the Copperwood neighborhood. Currently, there are no outline plans immediately to either the south or to the west. Next slide, please. So the amendment area is outlined in green here once again on the air photo. This air photo was taken in 2019, but development is still some distance away at this time, and the site is surrounded by undeveloped land. The gas well is shown here, as is the 100-meter development setback that is around it and is shown as a red circle here. Next slide, please. So this photo is taken on the ground and it's taking a look at westward.
If I can just, Mayor Spearman, could we do a roll call? There's some questions about getting a roll call here to make sure we have quorum, et cetera. I believe we do, but sorry, Tyson, I apologize for this, but I just thought maybe we should do a roll call.
Go ahead.
Sure. Councillor Parker.
Here.
Acting Mayor Hagan.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Miyashiro.
Here.
Mayor Spearman.
Here.
Councillor Campbell.
Here.
Councillor Carlson.
Present.
Councillor Kaufman.
Present.
Councillor Croson.
Present.
And Councillor Morrow. Councillor Morrow. Okay. So we have 8.
Okay, sorry, my apologies, Mr. Boylan.
Okay, we do have quorum. Councillor Morrow doesn't appear to be with us. Yeah, go ahead. Please continue, Mr. Boylan.
Thank you very much. So this photo is taken on the ground looking westward, and this is the extent of development in this part of Copperwood right now. Gas well is not visible here as it is located behind these 2 large dirt mounds, which are in the far background. Next slide, please. So listed here are the relevant planning documents to the proposed rezoning. I should point out that the key document here is the province's subdivision and development regulation. This is the document that regulates development around sweet gas wells. Next slide, please. So this map is from the West Lethbridge Phase 2 ASP, and this gas well and the 100-meter setback were identified in this ASP as shown on this map. Next slide, please. And again, the gas well and the setback were identified in the Copperwood 2 outline plan, which is shown above here. Next slide, please. So for existing and proposed land use districts, the map on the left shows the existing RCL district. This district is commonly used for single detached residential dwellings, especially in Copperwood. Until the gas well located here stops producing and the site has been remediated, provincial regulations require that no subdivision or development occur where a building is within 100 meters of an active gas well. So the proposed FUD district does just this, as it restricts further subdivision and development from occurring here. The proposed FUD district will also make it clear to the public, landowners, city staff, and decision makers that the site is not quite ready for development yet until gas production stops at the well. Next slide, please. So the application fulfills the policies of the regional plan in regards to maintaining access to resources and establishing land use patterns that minimize conflicting land uses in regards to resource extraction. It also fulfills the subdivision and development regulation policy of maintaining a 100-meter setback between a gas well and permanent dwellings. Next slide, please. So the gas well, in addition to the 100-meter setback, were also identified in both the governing ASP and the outline plan. Next slide, please. And for notification, mailouts were sent out to the owners of the parcel shown on the green hatches that are shown above. Ads also appeared in the Herald and on the city's website. I spoke to one adjacent landowner who just had general questions about the purpose of the amendment, and I provided them with further information. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, bylaw 6270 is compliant with all existing statutory and approved plans for the area, and the bylaw also ensures that development in Copperwood is compliant with the province's regulated development setback around sweet gas wells. Next slide, please. And it is our recommendation that City Council approve bylaw 6270. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Boylan, for your presentation. I understand the applicant is here to answer any questions, but will not be making a presentation. Is that correct? Are there any members of the public that wish to make a presentation on this matter? For a second time, are there any members of the public that wish to make a presentation on this matter? For a third and final time, are there any members of the public that wish to make a presentation on this matter? Okay, I see none. Hearing no other presenters, it is now time for City Council to ask questions of the presenters. Are there any questions of Mr. Boylan or the developer from City Council? Councillor Kaufman.
Thank you, Mayor Spearman. Thank you, Mr. Boylan, for the presentation. I'm sorry if I missed this. Does this change the proposed density?
So the proposed density, it doesn't, because this area is going to be undeveloped for some time. Eventually, it will be developed. At that time, there'll be dwellings on here, but this also takes out a certain area from Copperwood too as well.
Thank you. Takes it out permanently or temporarily?
Temporarily, until the gas well's done producing, and it's remediated properly, and then it'll be developed. Is the plan.
Thank you. So that's kind of the question then, is around remediation. That would have to be the next step.
Yeah.
Is there hopefully, okay. All right. I see Ms. Gearing's hand's gone up, so I don't know if she has something to add.
No, just to clarify what Tyson had mentioned, that this is only a temporary situation until the remediation can occur.
Thank you. So we hold the proposed density that was stated at the original bylaw. It gets held at that for whenever that gets accomplished post remediation.
That's correct. We're not amending the outline plan at all.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Okay, do we know how many years it might be before this land is developable? Is there any indication at this point?
I can answer that. In my recent discussions with the owner of the well, they're looking at a minimum of 7 to 10 years before shutting the well down and remediating.
Okay, thank you. And the land is owned by Daytona, is it?
That is correct, yes. Daytona Urban Development.
Okay, thank you. Any further questions from council? Okay, hearing no other questions, I now declare the public hearing closed. This matter may be decided later this afternoon following the public hearing. So we'll now go back to the City Council meeting. Can let us know when we're back in City Council. Okay.
And Joe wasn't here for the public hearing, so if he comes back on, I can't vote.
Okay.
You ready? Really? That quickly? Usually takes Ryan
Okay.
like 5 minutes.
Okay, so we're back in the City Council meeting, and we'll just do another roll call, please.
Acting Mayor Hagan.
Present.
Deputy Mayor Miyashiro.
Here.
Mayor Spearman.
Here.
Councillor Campbell.
Here.
Councillor Carlson.
Present.
Councillor Kaufman.
Present.
Councillor Croson.
Here.
Councillor Morrow. Councillor Parker.
Here.
We have 8 of the 9.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll move right to bylaws. And I'll need a mover for bylaw 6270, land use bylaw amendment, read 2425 30th Street West. Councillor Carlson?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, for second reading, be it resolved that bylaw 6270, land use bylaw amendment, read 2425 30th Street West, be given second reading. Councillor Carlson.
Thank you, Mayor Spearman. We just had to have the public hearing on this. It makes perfect sense to me unless my colleagues have any questions or thoughts or debate. If there is none, I will call for the vote.
Any questions from council? I see none. The question has been called. All in favor? Are any opposed? There are none. For third reading from Councillor Carlson, be it resolved bylaw 6270, land use bylaw amendment, read 2425 30th Street West, be given third reading, and the mayor and the city clerk be authorized to sign and seal the same. Councillor Carlson.
Thank you, Mayor Spearman. I call for the vote.
Question's been called. All in favor? Are any opposed? There are none. Thank you. Okay, I have another resolution from Councillor Carlson, adjournment. That we do now adjourn the regular meeting of City Council until Tuesday, April the 20th, 2021. Councillor Carlson?
Sorry, Mayor Spearman, call for the vote.
Question's been called. All in favor? Any opposed? There are none. Thank you. We are adjourned.
Take care, everyone. Be safe.
Thank you.
Belinda, is the west side getting developed over there on your side? The university is so much smaller.